I wanted to make this short video on what like terms are and how we combine them, because I've seen this is actually one of the most misunderstood topics that I've seen with my students, because it's kind of confusing when you first see it. So basically, in a nutshell, like terms are just terms that have the same variable with the same exponent, or terms that have no variable at all. That's it. That's really it. Make sure you remember that definition. That's what they are. It has to be, if it's a like term, it needs to have not only the same variable, but that variable has to have the same exponent. It has to be raised to the same exponent. So let's take a look at some examples. That definition is, great. I love it. I came up with it. It must be beautiful. But it doesn't really do anything if I don't give you some examples. So let's say we had x plus x. If you look, same variable, same exponent. This is basically, there's an invisible 1 right there. Those are like terms. We could combine those together. X plus x, that just gives us 2x. Because I have 1x, adding another x gives me 2x. I have some students that'll say x squared. Doesn't work like that. That's multiplication. That's a bit different. So let me get rid of that. Let's say we had 3x minus 5x. Again, if I look, the x's are the same. The exponents are the same because there's just a 1 there that it's invisible. 3x minus 5x, that would give me negative 2x. Okay, so let me give you an example of something, and you can take a guess of if it's like or not like terms. If I give you a 5y squared minus 5x squared, are these like terms? Hopefully you took a look at it and saw, well, the exponents are the same. Okay, well, maybe, but the y and the x, those are completely different variables. It's like trying to subtract apples from oranges. We just can't do that. The y and the x are completely different. Those are not like terms. And the main questions you guys will see are, simplify the following expression. If they ask you that for this one, that would be it. Now, we could factor out a 5. I'm not worried about that for here. That's all we would do here. We couldn't even touch that. There's nothing we can combine together. Okay, now let's look at some examples. Again, I showed you some, what looks like terms. Let's do a little bit more advanced ones. So let's say we had 6x squared y minus x squared y. If you look at both of these terms, they both have an x squared y. Excuse me. So x is being raised to the second power, good. And there's a y to the first power, good. So these are both like terms. If I combine them together, it's just normal arithmetic. 6x squared y's minus 1x squared y, I know that's a mouthful, leaves me with 5 of those x squared y's. And that's it. So that's what they mean. When we say combine, it just means add or subtract for the most part. And those are like terms. So these are more advanced, where we've got multiple variables and some exponents going on. And I also want you to see something. Let's say we had z cubed, my z's are horrible, sorry, z cubed plus 5 z squared minus 6z cubed. Now you look here and you think, hey, they all have a z attached to it. That must be it. They're all like terms. We can combine them all together, but we can't do that. The only two terms that we can combine together, hopefully you saw that, are this positive z cubed and this negative 6z cubed. The reason being is this does have a z on it, but it's z squared. That's not a like term. If we combine these two, 1z cubed minus 6z cubed, that should give us a negative 5 z cubed. This 5z squared, nothing even happens to that. We can't even do anything with that because there's no other z squareds that we can combine with it. Okay, and it works the same way if I had like a plus 2 out here. There's nothing else that combines with that constant, with that loose number by itself, so we would just have a plus 2 down here. Okay, so that's it in a nutshell of what like terms are and how we can combine them. Look at the variables, look at the exponents. Are they the same for the terms? Then we can combine them. Are they not the same? And they will try to trick you. Okay, so they're going to give you, I think we did one already like this, the first one, 8x squared y plus 8xy. It's really tempting to be like, oh, hey, xy, we got it. But this squared throws everything off. That's a completely different term than just a regular xy. So we could not combine those. If they asked you in a question, hey, simplify this expression, it would already be simplified. You would just circle your answer and move on from there. Okay, so hopefully this video helped, and we'll see you in the next one.